All right, YouTube, what's up? So we're gonna be working on this brand freaking new Can-Am X3 XMR Turbo RR, longest name in the world. Today we're gonna film removing the cat. I'm pretty much known on YouTube for catalytic converter removal. That's how I have so many subscribers and total views. So this is no different. This 2021 X3 getting chopped. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right, so it's worth mentioning that I'm gonna do this as cheap as possible. I'm a cheap bastard. This thing cost a lot, so all the money went to it. So I was about to start on it, but you should probably hear it first, right? Before and after. So maybe the GoPro will pick it up, but let's try it. All right, first thing, I'm gonna take this cover off. Maybe don't need it, but I'm taking it off anyway, just to make sure that I don't need it out of the way. It's only 5 bolts, T30s. Now we got that off, we gotta get these springs loose. And they're a little bit of a pain. It's nice to have a spring puller, but I'm gonna try needle nose. It's usually pretty difficult to use needle nose. You gotta have a strong grip. As you can tell. So I'm probably gonna come up with something else real quick. All right, something with a hook on it would be better, but I'm gonna try these vice grip needle nose. That seemed to work a lot better than the regular needle nose. These springs are pretty tight, so be careful. Hopefully this view is working out. It's a GoPro on the old noggin here with a headlamp also. So it may be crappy, but it's all I got. Okay, that one's gonna be a little bit of a butt head. I don't know if you can even see what I'm looking at, but this back one, a little bit tougher to get to. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain in the butt to put back on. Now we're gonna take and loosen the muffler, which awesomely is through bolted. So we just want to loosen it up. Ooh, that's still hot. But we might not have to do that. So let's try and do it without that. We got a little bit of play, as you can see. Might be a little bit of a bear to wrestle out of there, but let's see. So you're gonna have to take the clamp loose that goes around this right here. You're gonna have to unclip the oxygen sensor, which is over there if you can see. And then there's a 10mm V-band clamp, or I think it's 10. And then all this should come out some way. May even have to take this bracket off, or that one off, or something like that. May even have to take the muffler off, but we're gonna learn together. Okay, so now got this clamp off, took it all the way off. I don't know if it'll slide off or not. I don't know how much you actually saw anyway, but got this connector pulled out from up there and then right there. So the O2 sensor is loose. Now we got to go all the way up in there for the V-band, and then it should be loose. Okay, so another thing worth mentioning is that V-band clamp would probably be easier if you remove this, but this is an XMR So it's got a hose connected to that, so this doesn't come all the way out very easily. So I'm just going to try and reach in there and do it. So you might just pull that, there's the hose if you can see it. You might just pull that panel and it'd be okay. All right, I'm going to try and record pulling it loose. Fuck, that cat's hot. I probably should not have revved it up first in hindsight. Okay, I ended up having to pry this loose and coming down in there and prying up the V-band from the top. Turn that off. It was pretty difficult. I figured it would be a lot easier on this machine since it's only got 20 miles on it, but it's still on there and it's still a bitch. So hopefully you've seen some of that process, but now I'm gonna try and pull it out. Okay, so you obviously didn't see that, but you take these two bolts out, one bolt there, two up there, and then everything just falls out. There it is on the ground. Now we gotta work on actually gutting it, whether I'm gonna cut the pipe or if I can jam something down from the open end. Let's find out. Okay, I know it's loud in here, but I got an assortment of shit. I'm gonna be drilling it out with some of these long drill bits, or beat it out with a hammer and a screwdriver, hole saw, and an extension. I've already got some of it started. You can see in there. Eventually, you're gonna be able to see all the way through, and this thing's gonna be able to breathe. Okay, I decided to cut the whole thing out. I feel like it'll be easier to destroy this way, and then I'll just weld it back on here and weld that piece over there back on. Then we'll be all good. If you can't weld, then you're just gonna have to beat the shit out of it. Okay, small update. Don't do this unless you're an extreme cheapskate. It's probably worth the $300 for the cat removal pipe. Man, if you ain't really like to work, if you ain't trying to work your ass off, don't do this. Don't do it. I finally got it clear. That's as clear as I could get it. It looks like shit. There's dust and stuff everywhere. It's all out of round now. I had to get the air hammer, a hammer, chisel, drill bits, sawzall, angle grinder. I went at it with everything. But the best thing was the air hammer and just constantly hitting it over and over and over and getting it stuck, ripping it out. I finally got it. So, whew. Now it's time to weld it back together. Hopefully it doesn't look like shit. Reinstall it, and then I'm not even going to show you any of that. I'm just going to cut straight to the sound clip because it's pretty much the reverse of what we did to take it apart. So some of y'all are going to ask if this is going to avoid your warranty. It is not. Even though those welds look pretty shitty, I'm not going to show you very long because shitty welder. This is a XMR. We do a lot of mud. Mud's going to cake this up. You're not even going to be able to see it anymore. You couldn't tell on my old one, and they don't care if you put a slip on. So also another thing to note is not using the factory Can-Am warranty. It's an aftermarket warranty, which I've had good luck with out of my Razor. If you watch some of my other videos, you would know. All right, moment of truth. I'm going to do the first cold start up, let it warm up, then I'll rev it up. Here we go. So there you have it, the first how-to video on the old X3. Probably should have done the windshield and the roof and stuff, but that shit ain't that hard. You'll figure it out. But I guess the 6 people who made it this far, I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully it helped you. It's a motherfucker. If you want to do this, you're going to fight for it. So I feel for you if you're going to try it. If you're a cheap bastard, go for it. If you got money, just go ahead and buy a delete pipe. Way, way less time involved. I've regretted doing this. When I was gutting it, it was terrible. Worst cat I've ever gutted in my life. But I got it back together. Sounds good. I'm happy. I didn't spend any money, just spent some time. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm going to give away some used rock lights off of my old one. Somebody, I'll just give them to you. Maybe even a couple stickers. Hit me up if you need some the old Fang lights. The factory Fang lights are for sale. In that box over there are some hold downs for the Razor for a cooler and a rigid box. So hit me up on Instagram if you want those. And subscribe to this channel. I'll be posting a lot more content of this 2021 Can-Am X3 XMR Turbo RR. World's longest name. But I guess I can't think of anything else to say. I'm just blah, 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 blah. So peace out.